The Depression also brought severe hardship to the Cape Verdean community in rural Cape Cod. In East Wareham, my mother's parents, Serafina and Matilda Montero, struggled to make ends meet for their 10 children. My mother didn't like to talk about working in the cranberry bog. So I asked George Leighton, an old friend of my mother's, to tell me what he remembers.
My mother and father were itinerant agricultural workers. They worked on cranberry bogs, strawberry patches, blueberry bushes. That was their work. And that was the first form of occupation that I learned about as a boy laborer. And in the middle of this wetland, there's a projection of land, and on there used to be a 2-story shanty in which we lived. That shanty had no running water. It had no inside toilet. It had no electricity. Had no telephone, no mailbox. We had no car. All of our getting around was by foot. And that's where we lived from March until late November, early December, each year. All our lives were surrounded around the work on the cranberry bog. We weeded the bogs, we sanded, we planted the vines. The harvesting was by stoop labor, hard, back-breaking labor. They never gave me gifts, never gave me bicycles or baseball bats and so forth. But they gave me 2 things: a strong constitution, believing in hard labor. My mother used to say to me in Creole, when she told me to do something and I began, she would say to me, "Trabalho nunca engana se dono," which means that work never betrays the worker.
Non-whites couldn't get store jobs, whatever. So it was housework, cooking or cleaning. But that was my life because you couldn't do anything else. You weren't allowed to. It was just as bad as the South. As I tell them, there's the South and up South. Well, I lived in up South.